Police officers, what's the weirdest thing you've encountered during a routine traffic stop? I got pulled over last month for speeding. I was doing 40 in a 25 zone because I was late picking up my 6-year-old daughter from soccer practice. The officer walks up to my window, and I'm already apologizing and reaching for my license when he stops mid-sentence and stares into my back seat. Ma'am, step out of the vehicle, please. My heart drops. This sounds serious. Is there something wrong, officer? He's shining his flashlight around my car with this confused expression. Ma'am, I need you to explain what I'm looking at here. I turn around and remember that my car looks like a mobile daycare center exploded. There are juice boxes everywhere, goldfish crackers ground into the seats, and about 15 stuffed animals scattered around. But that's not what caught his attention. Sitting in the back seat, perfectly buckled into a car seat, is a life-sized cardboard cutout of The Rock. Next to him is a bag from Spencer's that clearly says adult novelty on the side. Oh God, I forgot about my sister's bachelorette party supplies. Officer, I can explain both of those things, and they're completely unrelated. He holds up his hand, trying not to laugh. Please do, because I've been doing this job for 12 years, and I've never had to ask someone why Dwayne Johnson is properly secured next to a bag of party supplies. So I have to explain that my daughter is obsessed with The Rock, not his movies, not his wrestling. She just thinks he's the nicest strongman and insists he comes everywhere with us. She makes me buckle him in for safety, says he's part of our family now. The officer nods slowly. And the Spencer's bag? My sister's bachelorette party is tonight. I'm the maid of honor. I had to pick up decorations and party games. He's clearly fighting back laughter. So you're telling me The Rock is chaperoning adult party supplies? Essentially, yes. My daughter doesn't know what's in the bag. She just knows Rocky has to be buckled in safely wherever we go. The officer walks around to look through the back window. Cardboard Rock is sitting there with his perfect smile, seatbelt properly fastened, while a bag full of inappropriate party games sits innocently beside him. Does he have a name? She calls him Rocky Johnson. And yes, before you ask, he has his own Happy Meal orders, his own seat at restaurants, and his own Christmas stocking. The officer loses it. He's laughing so hard he has to lean against my car. Ma'am, I have to ask, does Rocky have identification? I reach into my glove compartment and pull out a laminated card my daughter made. It's a driver's license for Rocky Johnson with his picture, our address, and under restrictions it says must be nice to everyone. The officer examines it seriously. Well, his paperwork seems to be in order. Then he leans down to my window. You know what? I was going to give you a speeding ticket, but Rocky here seems like a good influence. Anyone who makes sure The Rock wears his seatbelt is probably a responsible driver who just made a mistake. He hands me back my license. Just slow down, okay? Rocky's got people who care about him. As he's walking back to his patrol car, he stops and calls out, "Tell your daughter Officer Martinez said hi to Rocky." When I pick up my daughter, she's thrilled. Rocky made friends with a police officer? He's so good at making friends. The next week, she insists we drive by the police station so Rocky can visit his friend. We pull into the parking lot and she makes me honk the horn. She started making him a badge out of construction paper and aluminum foil.
What is the thing we don't talk about in your family? When I was 8, my dad took me and my little brother to Six Flags. Mom couldn't come because she was working a double shift at the hospital, so Dad was handling both of us alone for the first time. After the log flume ride, I was completely drenched and starting to shiver in the air conditioning, so Dad bought me a new Superman t-shirt from the gift shop to change into. The bathroom was one of those huge ones with multiple stalls and a long row of sinks. I remember Dad telling me to hurry up because my brother was getting cranky and needed his nap. When I came out of the stall in my new dry shirt, clutching my wet clothes, they were gone, just gone. The bathroom was empty except for one janitor mopping the floor. I checked every stall, thinking maybe they were playing hide and seek, but nothing. I walked outside, and the gift shop was packed with families, kids crying, music blasting from the speakers overhead. No sign of Dad or my brother anywhere. I remember standing there in my oversized Superman shirt, trying to convince myself this was normal. Maybe Dad just stepped outside for a minute. Maybe they were waiting by the entrance. I started walking around the immediate area, checking behind every display rack and souvenir stand, getting more panicked with each passing minute. Cast members in their red polo shirts kept approaching me, asking if I was okay, if I needed help finding my family. But I kept saying no because Dad had drilled stranger danger into my head since I could walk. Never go anywhere with someone you don't know, even if they say they're trying to help. The sun was starting to set, and I can still remember watching all these happy families walk by. Dads carrying tired kids on their shoulders, moms pushing strollers, everyone laughing and holding hands. I tried not to cry because I didn't want to look like a baby, but I was terrified. I must have wandered around for over an hour, checking the same areas over and over, hoping they'd magically appear. My stomach was growling because we'd planned to eat dinner after the ride, and my feet were starting to hurt in my sneakers. Every time I heard a kid crying or saw security guards, my heart would race thinking they were looking for me. Finally, this older security guard with a kind face noticed me walking in circles near the game booths. He crouched down to my level and said, "Hey buddy, you look a little lost. What's your name?" Something about his voice reminded me of my grandpa, so I finally broke down and told him I couldn't find my dad. 2 hours after I'd gone into that bathroom, they found my dad and brother at the park's main security office, both of them crying. Dad was frantically describing me to police officers while my brother sat in a chair eating a lollipop, completely oblivious to the chaos he'd caused. Turns out my brother, who was only 4, had started throwing throwing up right outside the gift shop. Dad panicked and rushed him to the first aid station on the other side of the park, thinking I was right behind them the whole time. In the chaos of dealing with a sick kid, he didn't realize I wasn't there until they were already at the medical center. By the time he realized I was missing, he couldn't remember which bathroom he'd left me at, or even which gift shop we'd been in. The park has dozens of them, and they all look identical. He'd been running around for an hour with my brother in his arms, checking every bathroom and gift shop, getting more desperate by the minute. When they brought me to the security office, Dad grabbed me so tight I could barely breathe. He kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry," over and over, while my brother asked why everyone was crying. I remember feeling confused because I thought I was in trouble, but Dad wasn't mad. He was just holding me and shaking. For years afterward, he'd joke about how I got the exclusive solo adventure that day, or how I was too independent for my own good. But I caught him crying once while looking through our old Six Flags photos. 20 years later, he still triple checks that everyone's together before we leave any store, restaurant, or public place.